I think we can all agree on one thing, that the beginning of 2020 and possibly the spring of 2020 will be the craziest year of for gamings. They are not just 1, 2 and 3 and 4. They are the big 4 games that are coming, which are in my mind are the biggest games are going to be released in the beginning of 2020. But before those games even being released, we have 2 games also that is being released before the 2019 year ends, which is the Outer Worlds and Death Stranding, which are a couple of weeks away. The Outer Worlds being developed and created by the Obsidian Studio, which is now being acquired by Xbox Game, but still, I believe this is the last game from the studios that will be released on both consoles and PC. And the second game is from Kojima Productions, Death Stranding, which will be released on November the 5th, which I believe he already have give some copies to the creators and influencers, and I just cannot wait to get my hands on both of these games. So it's only just fair to talk about them a little bit before we move on to the title of the video, that is the Big Four. What I'm really excited about Watch Dogs 3, or you can call Watch Dogs Region, is the ability to play as anyone. They have put this thing out there that you can recruit anyone, play as anyone, and be anyone, which sounds good. And so far, what they have shown us, it kind of looks like really great thing. But what I want to know about is the system limitless? Like you can play as anyone in the whole city, or is there limits to what kind of character you can play or what kind of character you're not? For example, number one, can you play as childrens? Okay, of course not. They're gonna put any childrens there, and if they even put the childrens there, it's gonna be a big controversy on its own. For example, what I really liked about is that you can play from a young man to an old man. As you can see right now, in this demo here, you can kind of see this guy is walking around the street trying to recruit some people, which is a really great option of his own. So when I talk example in the bar here, you can see this guy, you can also play with him. Like he has 50% damage resistance after he drinks. So essentially when he drinks, he will have the 50% damage resistance, which it will come really into play with his combat. Another example is this lady, she's a lawyer. Essentially, if you get jailed, she can release you 25% automatic release from jail, which is a lot quicker. And I think which is this kind of system that's really intriguing to me, that how far will this system goes. Okay, is it maybe you can play as a policeman? You can have a policeman came into the fold, trying to free London from this Brexit thing, or from this anti-corruption, whatever is going on right now in Britain, which I'm really intrigued by the idea of this thing. So, as you all know, Watch Dogs 1 and Watch Dogs 2, I still remember when Watch Dogs 1 came about. It was a really great game. Of course, there was some criticism because of the E3 trailer that Ubisoft has shown, which is a lot different than the one that was released in the retail. But the game itself was really nice. I think the story was really awesome, but then again, it did not perform well the way they wanted it to. With Watch Dogs 2, I think they kind of went in a more comedic way, comedic relief, like not that dark story of much with the new protagonist. Again, I really like Watch Dogs 2 also, but I feel like there was something missing from that game too. The story was not up to par with the first one, I believe, but still overall experience was nice. But now with this game, with Watch Dogs Legion, I think they are really taking a great approach with the game, where you can play as anyone, be as anyone. And I think this system, this is the first time we are seeing this kind of system being implemented in a game that where you can play as an NPC, where there is no main protagonist, which I really hell liked it. So I'm really excited to find out how much this system will go far, what are the possibilities, is it limitless, when it drops on March 6th of 2020. Dying Light 2, it's coming in spring 2020. We still haven't got a clear-cut date, but it's for certain in my mind that it will come on spring around March, April or May. On 2014, when Techland, when they released Dying Light 1, and man, when they released this game, that was one of the most fun games that I have ever played in my life, and I still to this day still sometimes play this then get that game a lot with their DLC, the following, and not to mention they are still supporting that game in a multiplayer area, creating new mods and everything. What made Dying Light 1 so good is the parkour mechanics, the risk and reward things. You know, if you go in the daytime is a little bit safer, but still all your parkour things will give you XPs and all that. But nighttime, it was another whole ball game, and I have played a lot of zombie games, and it didn't have the system that Dying Light 1 had of the night and day system. Basically, in day you are safe, you can wander around without any care, except you have to be careful of the human enemies. But at night, you have to be careful of the zombies. The I Their names are not coming in my mind. The berserkers, or you could say, I don't call them the berserkers. Basically, they will crank it up 100 and they will chase you and they will kill you. There is no chance of you for killing them. The only thing you can do is hide or run. But the thing is, in Dying Light 1, if you hide, if you run in the night time, your XPs will be double. The more parkour you do, the XP will be double, and there's a great chance for you to level up more easily. And I think that's what made the game so much better and so much great, in my opinion. There hasn't been a game like that. But in the other hand, story. Okay, let's talk about story before we jump to Dying Light 2. The story was okay, in my opinion. I think the way it started, it was kind of a generic story, a soldier who came into the city, wanted some files on some guy. Turns out he happens to help this militia group, rebels that are in this building, and blah blah blah. But the thing is, the thing that really pissed me off about Dying Light related to story is the ending. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched or haven't played Dying Light 1, so I will kindly advise you to skip ahead. The way they ended this game was an insult to me. Here you have this huge building you have to climb up, and it was a hurdle and it was a difficult path to climb. There were some things you have to jump to. You have to make sure that you jump at the right place or you'll get dropped to your death. When you finally reach the damn place, what we are expecting the final boss to be, at least a fist fight or something, but no, they pull us with this QTE, quick time events. It really pissed me off and it completely destroyed the flow for me. I think that's the only thing I will say about Dying Light 1. Now, speaking about Dying Light 2. So with Dying Light 2, the game takes place after 15 years since humanity lost to the virus. The last great human settlement exists within an unforgiving, infected world plunged into a dark modern age. During the day in this game, the bandits, factions, and starving survivors roam the streets scavenging for scraps or anything. But during the night time, the infected, they roam around the map and executing their dark hideous to prey on the living. And this time around, our protagonist is Aiden Caldwell. He is an infected survivor. Not sure how I feel about that. If he is infected, that means that he is going to die in this game and possibly at the end of the game. Now, with this game, what I really liked about is the RPG elements. RPG elements is now your choices will determine what will happen in the story. For example, you have two factions in the game, faction A, faction B. If you support faction A, you will have benefits and you will have consequences. Same goes with option number B. And I really like that, they gives you a lot of flexibility with the options, but what can you do and what can be the consequences of your actions, and where will the story will take place. Maybe you take some action that will later be came in front of you and say, this is the action that you made, this was the consequences of your actions. And not just that, the parkour has been immensely improved. You can see the parkour, it's so smooth and versatile right now. I just cannot wait to get my hand on that. and they have improved the story, which I'm seeing right now with this choices system. They have now implemented like an RPG system. And also with the demo we saw the last time, Techland, when they officially saw the demo for a 26-minute demo trailer, demo walkthrough, it looks like you can drive in this game also, which I really liked it. Which I was really hoping was in the last game. Unfortunately, it was in the DLC, the following, which was a small buggy. But now in this game, I'm hoping you can have a vehicle mechanic. By mechanic, I mean you can drive a vehicle or something, a bike or maybe or something. But the thing is, the parkour is there. Excuse me, since the last time, and of course, we need to know what the story is about. Is it your generic story about having this guy who's already infected and he's going to die and have to do something? But one thing is for sure, Dying Light 2 looks promising. Dying Light 2 looks great. Its story looks awesome. When it officially drops in the spring of 2020, be sure to check this game out. I think this game has a lot of potential. Think about this. When Cyberpunk 2077 was first announced, it was back in all the way to 2013. We are talking about Obama was still the president of the United States. So after the 2013 reveal trailer, Cyberpunk 2077 went kind of in a dark. We didn't hear anything about it. As year by year passes, people were talking about what this game is going to be about. How will this game look like? Will it be third person or first person? We were still speculating, yet Cyberpunk 2077 was nowhere to be seen as each E3 went by. Finally, in the 2018 E3 Xbox press conference, we got the trailer at the very end, and it turns out it will be a first-person shooter, FPS, full-on hardcore RPG mechanic, as the CD Projekt series have been known for doing it, as they have for their previous success in The Witcher 3. So when they finally revealed Till, and not to mention the 48 minutes gameplay, they showed a lot of gameplay, a lot of mechanics, but yet still they were holding a lot of things back. But the thing about Cyberpunk 2077 is based on the table card RPG by Mike Podsmith on for his Cyberpunk 2023, if I am right. Don't quote me on that. So it was a lot of years of waiting. Now we're finally getting to see the gameplay, and finally in the 2019 E3 we have the release date trailer, and not to mention this guy came out.
Please welcome Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, my god, that was such a great moment. When I was watching it in live stream, I literally screamed inside, because not a lot of actors get that kind of reaction. The reaction that Keanu Reeves got when he came out with that sick soundtrack in the background. He just came out there, and when he finally the music stopped, people were still clapping. That kind of a reaction, every actor, every person would dream of. It gets to show you that Keanu Reeves, man, he's Keanu Reeves. He can do whatever he wants, and people will respect it, and people will like him. And not to mention this iconic moment
is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. The breathtaking part is coming on April 24th, 2020. After 6 long years, we will finally get our hands on April 24th. And I think this game is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of deep RPG mechanics with deep customization. You'll get to essentially play the character that you want, be whatever you want, and do whatever you want. And I know that there has been a lot of controversy about the first person view. It's not third person, and I think that they are right. For this kind of a game, first person will be a lot better. Will get to be immersed into the environment and into the game. So I just cannot wait. I can't wait. You know, April 24th, 2020, Cyberpunk 2077 by the creators of the Witcher series. Cannot wait. And I cannot get it here soon enough. Before I move on to my next game, it's actually coming out on my vacation, so you know what it's going to be about. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, we gotta talk about The Last of Us Part 2 that's coming on February 20th. And this is a game that a lot of us, including me and including you guys, have waited for. The Last of Us Part 1, when it came in 2014, it was a mesmerizing game. The story was so good. I mean, there was nothing special about the gameplay. We have seen gameplay like this. We have seen game like this. But there was something about the relationship between Joel and Ellie was so special that instantly took everyone by surprise. I will not use the word surprise. Instantly took under their wing, and you kind of fell for them. You kind of fell for them the way the story was going. When you saw Ellie, it was like you were Joel and you were first time meeting Ellie. It was that good until the end. Until the ending of Last of Us Part 1. Spoiler alert. When Ellie asked Joel about, tell me that whatever you say, swear to me is all true, and Joel actually lied to Ellie in order to keep her safe. That actually a selfish act, but in order to save Ellie for any harm, he has to do that. And even since it has been 5 years, fans have been clamoring for Last of Us Part 2 until until I think it was Game Awards 2016 when Naughty Dog finally revealed The Last of Us Part 2 with that beautifully orchestrated trailer with Ellie is in a room playing guitar and singing a song, and we see Joel comes out from a shadow and tells Ellie, are you really gonna go through with this? And she said, I'm gonna kill and I'm gonna find every last one of them. I mean, that was the moment, and afterwards, of course, the year after, we kind of saw the gameplay, and that finally, I think a month ago, in the state of play, we finally got the release date have been revealed. It will be on February 22nd. That's the very interesting part about this game. The gameplay has evolved so much, whereas Joel was a little bit slow, but yeah, the gameplay, Joel was a little bit of a stirred, slower guy, but he could not make the jump button. But whereas Ellie, she will be more agile, she will be more versatile with her weapons and everything. You kind of see in the gameplay now they have added a jump button where you can actually from point A from point B you can jump to that point. And there's new weapons, crafting systems, some RPG mechanics. Now you can also hide under the tall grass. I mean, this game, my god, I think this game going to crush us. As Neil Druckmann has said, this theme of this game is about vengeance. It's about Ellie going down the path of the dark side, going down the path of the vengeance. The thing is, for me, from the trailers, they kind of make you feel like, okay, that what was this chick names? I forgot her name. That Dina, that to kill Dina, and Ellie kind of saw that. That's why she's going to have to. I think it's going to be much more than that. There are many layers that we are missing here from the story, and when it finally hits on February 22nd, Oh my god, and I hope that at some point of the game that we actually get to play as Joel, as it was with The Last of Us Part 1, where there was a snowy area where we got to play as Ellie for the whole chapter, I think. I'm really hoping for that will be the case, because Joel, he's an anti-hero. He's not a hero and he's not a villain. He will do what's right, what he thinks is right. That what kind of makes Joel such a great and a compelling character. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I think it will be one of the most anticipated games of the 2020, and and from graphical wise, I cannot wait the way Naughty Dog will improve the graphical points. I heard that it will come in 2 discs, one for installation and one for the play. I cannot wait to find out. Woo! So there you have it. I think 2020 will be a very big year for games, for these 4 games that are coming out in the early 2020 and the E3 2020, where finally we get to see the next generation consoles and what will be in store. And not to forget, at the 2020 holidays, when both next generation consoles will launch. And I'm gonna thank you guys who have watched this video. If you do like my videos, kindly subscribe, like and share, and push the notification button. I mean, that's so easy, man. You just gotta subscribe, like the video, and push the notification button. I mean, I'm not asking for you guys anything else. That's all. That is all. So again, here's your boy Rajboot from my Rajboot channel, and I will see you guys on the next video.
What the hell are you doing here?
You think I'd let you do this on your own?